Going live. I'm going live. Okay, we're live.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
We're here with this week's update, and we have to say that we got some feedback from some people saying we should all try to smile. So that's what we're doing.
We're gonna smile.
Genuine, very genuine.
Yes. But we are back with the weekly updates on immigration. Jennifer and Ryland both have updates for us today, and then, as always, after that, we will try to address any questions that come up in the comments. But for now, I think we can get to it. Ryland, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So a while ago, USCIS announced that they were going to be trying to revamp their processing times and make certain processes available for petitions such as premium processing as a way to kind of expedite the backlog that they've built up. So they said that they were going to do this, and now they're finally actually making premium processing available, at least for certain petitions. So starting pretty soon here on June 1st, if you had previously filed a Form I-140 for an E13 multinational executive or manager, if you had previously filed one of those on January 1st, 2021 or earlier, so January of last year or earlier, then you will be able to upgrade that petition now for premium processing. And then there's later on, a month later in July, they're going to do that same thing for that same petition, a Form I-140 for an E13 multinational executive or manager, if you had filed that in March of last year or earlier, March 1st specifically, so really February of last year or earlier. Also, if you had filed an I-140 for an E21 holding an advanced degree or having exceptional ability that was also seeking a national interest waiver, if you had filed one of those on June 1st or earlier of last year, now you would be able to upgrade that to premium processing. So really, it's just for two types of people. An E13 multinational executive or manager, or an E21 professional holding an advanced degree or of an exceptional ability seeking a national interest waiver. Specifically, they need to be seeking a national interest waiver. And for both of those types of petitions, they need to have already been filed last year in 2021. And now, after waiting for a year, now you're eligible to upgrade those beginning in June and July of this year to premium processing. And what is premium processing? Well, if you apply for it, then for these particular types of cases, USCIS basically guarantees that you will get a decision on your case within 45 days. And so if you've been waiting for over a year, then this is, it's an extra 45 days, but it's at least some guarantee that something will happen. It's not guaranteeing that it'll be approved, but at least that a decision will be issued within 45 days. And they ask if you want to be eligible for this premium processing program, there's a filing fee, an additional filing fee of $2,500. So obviously it's not that great. I mean, you're still having to get this extra $2,500, and then you have to wait another 45 days. But at least for people that are in these specific categories that have already been waiting quite a long time for a decision, they can guarantee some kind of decision. Also, in our experience with premium processing cases, we do see sometimes we'll do the premium processing, and then USCIS will issue us a request for evidence that will have a deadline much beyond the 45 days or the 15 days for certain other types of forms. So you might get a request for evidence that has a later deadline, but so long as you provide them with the evidence as soon as you can, they should still meet that deadline that is stated within the premium processing. So yeah, that's that. It's not a huge change yet, but at least they are starting to implement some of these strategies that they talked about implementing. I do know too that before the end of this fiscal year, they are expecting certain types of extensions of status or changes of status applications to be eligible for premium processing as well. So they have until basically the beginning of October this year to implement those plans. We'll see if they actually do. It's coming up shortly here now. We're almost in June, and they have until the end of September. So we should be seeing those soon, and we'll keep you updated when we see those. If you are in the type of category that might be eligible for upgrading your petition to premium processing. It could be that they require that you've already submitted your application earlier, just like they're doing for these petitions as well. It might be that you're ineligible unless you submitted an application last year. We'll have to see exactly how they're rolling it out, but we'll keep you guys updated. There you go.
Wow. That's just insane that these, like, to wait a year and then be like, oh, $2,500 and we'll process it faster after you've already been waiting a year.
Yeah. It is wild, but
crazy.
Something for people that have that money at least.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on. Mine's going to be brief, but basically on May 4th, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, announced a new rule increasing the automatic extension period for work permit renewals. And I know we've already covered this, so I'm going to remind people it does increase that automatic extension period for eligible categories from 180 days to 540 days. And so my update is that on May 20th, so this past week, USCIS created an automatic extension calculator to help people figure out what their extension, when it's good until. And to help employers with determining their employees' expiration date, since it's going to be different than what's on the actual physical permit. And that calculator is available on the USCIS website, and it's also available on our website on our blog.
So Jennifer, what's an employee to do if they have that expired card, but they've been automatically extended and their employer's like, no, this is expired. What should they do?
So I know for our current clients, I usually draft a letter to the employer explaining the extension process, including a copy of the guidance from USCIS, also the Federal Register notice extending, and then a copy of their expired work permit and their receipt notice for the renewal. For just regular people that don't want to get the letter or aren't current clients or something like that, you can show your expired document. You have to have the actual document, not the copy. Show the document and then also the receipt notice, and your employer should accept that. And if they're not, that's when we step in and do the letter. But there is guidance. There's an employer handbook on the USCIS website. And so we usually point people to that.
Yeah. And I mean, just so people know, it's not optional for employers to be whether they'll accept that. It's a fully valid proof of authorization to be able to work. And so if an employer's not accepting it for any reason, there's probably some action that can be taken. And we, like Jennifer said, we do this regularly on behalf of our clients. So,
yeah.
All right, and then my update is about us. I think a lot of the people who tune in often have questions about casework we're actually doing through our Impact collaboration, where we have been working with Cook Baxter and Siskin Susser on a number of big federal cases. And so we often get people tuning in and asking questions about those cases, which is great. But the big news for Impact is that we've added another firm to that collaboration. It's the firm of Wasden, Bless and Forney. They are all really, really bright attorneys. They really have an innovative approach to their litigation, and so we are really excited to be able to work with them on these big cases that hopefully will get lots more great results for our clients. So that's the big news for the Impact Group, and I think that their first involvement is likely to be in the employment-based adjustment of status litigation that's starting to onboard now. So that's the news there. We're excited about that.
Yeah, that's super awesome. And wasn't Jesse Bless, who is a partner there, wasn't he the head of litigation for Ayla?
He was, yeah, and that's kind of where our group first worked with him on when he was counseling for Ayla. We worked with him on a number of cases, and then we're able to work with him in drafting briefs and coming up with arguments, and that's certainly part of the reason that it seemed like such a good fit, because we've all worked together before, and we know that we like each other's work, and so
Yeah,
so it's great.
and if you're a viewer and you don't know what Ayla is, I mean, it's one of the biggest organizations of immigration lawyers in the United States, if not the biggest. I mean, so being the head of litigation on behalf of that group is a pretty big deal, I think. So for us to be working with him again in a more, I mean, it seems, I mean, he's part of Impact. Let's go. Let's go. It's awesome.
So I think that's it for me. Did you guys have anything else that you want to get to today?
I did not.
All right. Well, we will, as always, be back next week with another update. But until then, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. Our contact information is on the website. And
we just got a quick question from Suvi.
Oh, great. Hi, Suvi. What happens next in the Boujabor case? Well, the Boujabor case is the DV 2022 case. We have just filed an opposition to the government's motion to dismiss, and that was filed. It's all blending together. That was Monday, right?
Yes,
it was Monday.
Yeah. That was filed Monday, and so the government has 7 days to respond to that, to file their reply brief, and I'm sure they will. In the meantime, so the motion to dismiss will get a decision from the judge at some point in the future. We don't know when. In the meantime, that doesn't slow us down from other things that we want to be working on. So there will likely be either a motion for discovery or otherwise a production of an administrative record. Those are things that we're working on now, and we don't know exactly when that's going to be produced, though. So things are still in motion, but as far as what's due as far as filings, is the next step is the government's going to be filing something in 7 days. No, within 7 days of Monday. So by this coming Monday.
All right, cool. Well, that was the only question from Suvi. Nice to see you, Suvi.
Yes, good to see you, and thank you again to everybody else, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rylan. Thanks.